Okay guys, welcome back. This is a big one. Lesson 10, Order of Operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It is our acronym for Order of Operations. You know we've seen this before with whole numbers, but now we can operate on integers, right? We know how to tackle absolute value, negative signs, all that goodness. So we want to throw it all together and see if we can tackle some order of operations problems. So remember, in general, this acronym, PEMDAS, tells you how to proceed. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. I have that pinned in there for you if you need to read that. But I'm going to go ahead and dive right into this first example. Okay, so PEMDAS tells us to take care of parentheses and grouping symbols first. So we go inside these parentheses and take care of that. Well, 5 minus 2 is 3. But then, keep the parentheses, keep the 4 outside, constantly record your own handwriting and your own thoughts. You want to get good at that. PEMDAS says to take care of exponents next. Well, hey, 4 squared is 16. The rest of it I'm going to record. Even though I could do it in my head, things are going to get ugly in the future and longer and bigger. So we want to practice recording our own handwriting and our own thoughts. PEMDAS, I'm constantly reminding myself of PEMDAS. PEMDAS says to take care of multiplication and division before addition and subtraction. So, in other words, this dominates. I've got to multiply first. So 4 times 3, 12. Then in the very end, you can take care of addition and subtraction left to right. So we can just move left to right. So 12 plus 16, is going to yield 28. And you notice I have the answer snipped in there. So just really practice writing your thoughts and using order of operations, the way we're told to use it. Okay, let's try another. You really have to do a lot of practice with order of operations to get good at it. So before we do this one, beware when simplifying expressions with exponents, though. Beware that negative 5 and parentheses squared and negative 5 squared do not mean the same thing, right? It turns out negative 5 squared means negative 5 times negative 5, which is 25. But negative 5 squared, without the parentheses, actually means take the opposite of 5 squared, which would bring you to negative 25. Right? It's kind of like when you say negative 5 squared, it's actually the 5 that's being squared, and the negative's floating out front. 5 squared is 25, and the negative remains. So, this one basically will return a positive 25. This one should return a negative 25. Okay? So let's dive right in. And I encourage you to do, even after the problems with me, maybe you want to hit pause on this example, try it yourself, and see if you agree with me at the end. But I encourage you to do a lot of these PEMDAS problems on your own, maybe online or out of the text. Okay. Parentheses first. All right, well, negative 4 minus 6 is, hopefully you're thinking negative 10. Remember, we've practiced loss. If you have a loss of 4 and a loss of 6, you have an overall loss of 10. So I'm going to go under the general assumption that you're getting comfortable with your sign laws. That has to come in time. Notice I'm forcing myself to rewrite everything then. Okay? Take care. PEMDAS says to take care of all your parentheses. So I didn't take care of this one yet. So 5 minus 7, if I have 5 and I lose 7, I'm going to be in the hole, right? Negative 2. Record every little thing. Okay, now PEMDAS says to take care of your exponents next. So we have to think about negative 10 squared. Notice the negative 10 is in parentheses. So that really means negative 10 times negative 10, which we know is 100. So that's 100 plus 4 times negative 2 divided by 4 minus 9. Now, PEMDAS says that we have to take care of multiplication and division before addition and subtraction, and that we must move left to right over multiplication and division. So I put my eyeball on this, multiplication and division, and know that I'm going to move left to right over that information. So let's practice. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Record and record. Record every little thing. Okay? Now I can take care of that negative 8 divided by 4. Well, you can kind of consider that a negative 8. So negative divided by a positive we know is negative, so it's going to be negative 2. Again, you can remind yourself you're dividing with unlike signs, so that's why all these rules come into play. Okay, record the 100, record the plus. When you say plus minus 2, it really means like plus negative 2, which really means minus. And then record the minus 9. Now at the end we boiled it down to addition and subtraction, and we may move left to right over, even if you have to note to self there, left to right over addition and subtraction. Okay, so 100 plus negative 2 means the same thing as 100 minus 2, which is 98. So then you'd have 98 minus 9, which is 89. And voila, we arrive we arrive at 89. Okay, but notice that I really wanted to get you used to this. Notice that triangular motion, right? I started like this, I started like this, I kept writing down every little step until I boiled it down to just one little answer, right? So you want to get used to you want to get used to writing all your steps robotically, methodically, all the way down until you boil it to your final answer. And that's because as we climb that rope of algebra and calculus, or however far you're going, it's going to get, the syntax is going to get very ornate. And we have to be able to write things down in a robotic way, in a methodical way. Okay, try another. One more together. And then you should practice as many as you can on your own. All right. PEMDAS, always writing that off on the side to remind myself. Take care of your parentheses first. Okay. So, and any kind of grouping symbols like bars or brackets. Now remember absolute value. Remember that last thing, the bars, that's absolute value. It's been a while since we've talked about that. So, negative 3 plus 5 is 2. Record. And we've got 2 cubed. Plus 7, parenthesis. Well, 5 minus 6 is negative 1. Record. See how I'm forcing myself to record every little thing. Now here you might say, hey, negative negative 9, that's that double negative. Negative negative 9. It's the negation of 9. We called that the not rule. Not 9. Is 9. So that's going to turn into a positive. So if you like, go ahead and turn that into plus 9 from the get-go. You do want to put your eyeball on that. Remember that rule? We said the negation of A is A. I called it the not rule. If I'm not going to the party, I'm going to the party. So negative negative 9 is positive 9. Okay, and here absolute value, you know absolute value returns a positive, you know, it's the positive distance from 0. So absolute value of negative 20 is 20. Record. Now we're ready to take care of exponents. Negative 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Record. And now I'm going to force myself to record everything left to right. All right. Now PEMDAS says to take care of any multiplication and division before addition and subtraction. So these two guys are multiplied with each other, and then eventually we have division. So let's try that. So 7 times negative 1, well, those are unlike signs. I'm even going to write here unlike signs, so it's going to be negative. Negative 7. Record everything. So 8 plus negative 7 divided by negative 7 plus 9 plus 20. Now we have to take care of that division next. So, you know, a negative divided by a negative, those are like signs. It's going to return a positive. Negative divided by a negative is positive. So negative 7 divided by negative 7 is positive 1. So now we have 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 20. And voila, we're almost there. Now you can move left to right because you've got all addition. So 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 9 is 18. And you can even write out an extra step if you want. And then 18 plus 20 is 38. So after all that sweat equity, we arrive at 38. Okay? So I really, just encourage you to do as many of these types of problems as you can until you find yourself always getting them right. Okay, good luck out there.